In part 1, I showed you how the money supply is created and expanded from thin air. Here I will explain what it actually is, that gives this newly created money value. In a nutshell, the newly created money gains its value from the existing money supply, by robbing existing money of its value. The total sum of money is increased without any regard for the demand for services and goods. So purchasing power is depreciated, as supply and demand reach equilibrium and prices go up. This process is well known as inflation, a hidden tax on the people of a nation. In 1971, President Nixon ended America's citizens' ability to convert silver and gold into US dollars. Since then, the dollar supply has risen exponentially, resulting in runaway inflation. Since the unlawful inception of the Federal Reserve Bank in 1913, the value of the US dollar has shrunk by a staggering 95%.
What is the advice that you generally get? And that is, inflate the currency. They don't say debase the currency. They don't say devalue the currency. They don't say cheat the people who are saved. They say lower the interest rates. The real deception is when we distort the value of money. When we create money out of thin air, we have no savings, yet there's so-called capital. So my question boils down to this: how in the world can we expect to solve the problems of inflation, that is, the increase in the supply of money, with more inflation?
The truth of the matter is, you can't. In fact, inflation is the increase in the supply of money. Inflation is inherited through the fractional reserve monetary system. Increasing the money supply in an economy will always cause a rise in inflation. When the supply of money is increased, people have more money to offer for goods. If the supply of goods does not increase proportionally to the supply of money, then the price of goods increases. Each individual dollar is devalued because there are more dollars. Thus more of them will be offered against goods like food, a pair of shoes, or 100 bushels of wheat. The price of goods is an exchange ratio between a dollar and a unit of goods. When more dollars are in circulation, the value of each dollar is less. Goods then rise in price, not because goods are more scarce, but because dollars are more abundant. Most Americans have experienced this firsthand, in the government's fiscal policy of quantitative easing. Money has been created out of thin air, flooding the money supply as a stimulus for people to purchase more goods. Since then, the price of nearly everything we pay for in the United States has risen significantly. Inflation as a result of money expansion is rather insidious and self-defeating, but it doesn't end there. Inflation is actually perpetuated. Money is debt, and debt is money. The more money there is, the more debt there is, and vice versa. So, every dollar you have is owed to someone, by someone. If you remember, money can only be created from loans. Consequently, if every debt in America was paid off, including the national debt, not one single dollar would remain in circulation. The last time the national debt was paid off was in 1937, when then-President Andrew Jackson shut down the central bank. The bold effort the present bank has made to control the government, the distress it has wantonly caused, are but premonitions of the fate that await the American people should they be deluded into a perpetuation of this institution, or the establishment of another like it. Sadly, however, his words were short-lived when another bank just like it emerged in 1913 as the Federal Reserve Bank. As long as the Federal Reserve Bank remains in existence, debt will be perpetuated by design, existing forever.
Attention all planets of the Solar Federation. Attention all planets of the Solar Federation. Attention all planets of the Solar Federation. We have assumed control. We have assumed control. We have assumed control.